Hi, everybody. So I wanted to go over just a few effects that I went over the other day just to make sure that you have this available. So I'm going to use the green screen footage that I have, apply some water effects with the Alpha Luma, and see how I can incorporate this city screenshot that I grabbed and add some effects. So let's start a new composition and I'm going to make it 1920 by 1080. And we'll do 29.97, that's fine. I'll drop in my green screen composition. So let's take care of the green screen first. We'll do this real fast since we've gone over this before. We're going to apply the key light. And this, of course, as soon as I started making this, my dog got up and is trying to get me to play with him. But so we'll grab the green screen color. We can say, let's grab this color over here. We change to combined matte. And then we go into screen matte and we'll clip black and clip white. And we're gonna have some issues right here with this color. And I'll show you how we can solve that, but I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on that. Let's go back to intermediate results and we'll add our mask. So the mask we're going to take and bring down so that we clip the areas that we do not want, that the green screen didn't touch. And remember, we will add refine hard matte. And I typically take shift edge negative a little bit because that will go inward as opposed to outward, and feather up a little bit. And then also advanced spill suppressor. We'll drop that down. And that takes some of the green off of my face. Not gonna worry. You can see just barely on the edge, but we're not gonna worry about too much right now. So if I wanna help this color right here that is being affected by all of these effects that I've just added, I can duplicate that. So I just duplicated my footage and I'm going to take my matte and just bring it in around that green line. Now, of course, this does require you to do some manual adjusting. We would come into here in the mask and we would mess with the mask path. And as I move, I do also have to move that mask path. So this is somewhat of a rotoscoping process that would require a little bit of time and effort if we wanted to get this correct. But, so you can see what I'm doing. Anyways, I'm not going to worry about that right now. I'm just going to delete that layer. And I like to have my green screen, even though this is manageable right now, I like to have the green screen in its own separate composition. So I can pre-compose this and I will call this Nate green screen. And you see we have the pre-comp over here, Nate green screen, and my comp I'm just going to call full comp. So full comp green screen. Oh, and the reason why now Nate green screen looks like this is because I didn't move my I didn't move my effects when I pre-composed this. You can see, so I could say pre-compose again, and I have the option to move all attributes into new composition. I should have clicked that. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select these and go back into Note green screen and apply them. And I also need to apply this matte because I didn't move any of those things. So now here in my full comp, I'm going to just delete these. And now I have a piece of, now I have a composition that has like, it has all my effects on it, and I don't need to worry about the green screen anymore. But what can we start to do to mess around with this and create some of the effects that I was showing you the other day? So first, what I want to do is I'm going to duplicate my green screen, and I'm going to apply a gradient ramp. And we'll apply that on top. And I can put black here and white here. And now we can start to use this layer, this top layer. I'll change this to a different color so that we know that it is the matte. We can start to use this as an alpha matte. Sorry, not an alpha matte. So an alpha matte is the entire shape. We want to use it as a luma matte because we're applying the black and white colors, right? So we have like an area for the body. Now let's do the lower body. Let's do an area for the upper body, the head. So I am recreating this same matte. I dragged it down, I duplicated it, dragged it down, and now I'm putting my water underneath, and I'm going to use this as a luma. But I'm going to do inverted. I can just apply it as a luma matte, regular luma matte. But if I come up here into my effect controls for this luma matte, I'm going to say swap colors. So we see the footage like lays on top the old footage. And honestly, because I don't really even need if I have this water footage on top, so I just switched it to being on top. If I have this on top, I don't really need to even have a luma matte under here. You can see right now I'm getting some transparency. If I want just full my full layer underneath, I could change this to no track matte. And then you see I just have that footage, that full footage underneath. And I'm just applying a luma matte on top with my water footage. Let's turn off the sound. What else could we do? Let's see. We could maybe apply, I want to take that screenshot that I had of the city. And I don't know, let's see how that works instead of the water. So we'll apply luma matte. And like this would be better probably if it was footage that was moving, not just a still. But we could come in here and we could mess with the position. So I'm gonna have the city footage maybe start here. And then as I move, I'm going to also move the city footage. Maybe that seems a little far, so let's go here. I don't know, maybe I'm not sure I totally like that effect actually, but just showing you that you can move the footage that you're using inside of the matte. Maybe I would like adjust that a little. It's interesting, but yeah, so then maybe we apply that city footage all the way underneath. Maybe we scale it up. Maybe we bring down, let's go to the brightness. Sorry, brightness contrast. Sorry, I didn't mean to apply it to that. I want to apply it to my background. So we take down the brightness a lot. Make it kind of darker so that the footage inside of my body pops more. And this has a really hard edge on it right now. You can see that there's kind of this line underneath of the city footage, because that is this layer right here where my body is. So what we could maybe do for that is we could apply a simple choker. See if this helps at all. Just bring it in ever so slightly. So you can see that's 0. And then if I just bump it up to like 110, that really helps with that edge. And it also doesn't eat too far into the footage down here, because you like if we go way too far up, then this footage down here gets messed up, right? So let's just keep it at 1. All right. So this is one option for what we could do. I also was looking at, we looked at the Venetian blinds, if you remember. So I'm going to turn this off. And I'm just going to delete this city this city material. I'm going to delete that, and we're going to start with a new I'm sorry, we're going to start with a new pre-comp to apply to as a Luma map. So what I did here, actually no, let's Command Z. I'm sorry that I'm being a little bit crazy, but let's just keep all that, and now let's pre-comp all of this. So we'll say city and body. And now I'm going to come back here, come back to my Nate green screen. And I want this to be same position. So if I hold down Option Alt and do my parenting, we looked at this once before, we drag the pick whip to where city and body is. That won't work. Never mind. We can duplicate this. Sorry if this is not incredibly clear, but so I Command Z'd, we can duplicate this city and body layer, and now we're going to add a gradient ramp again. And so this is, or even just like a solid fill, whatever we want. So this is how we could apply maybe another alpha map to this on top of that. Theo. All right, so let's do the stripes that we were looking at before in class. So I can make a new shape layer, go up to new shape layer. And if I double click this rectangle, it's just going to fill the entire space. Theo, down, down. So I can apply an effect called Venetian Blinds. Blinds. VE, my bad. So we can apply this effect called Venetian Blinds. We can change things here. And I'm going to do 90 so that it's moving up and down. And I also want to scale this. I'm going to pre-compose this. So I want this to be able to animate, and with the effect of Venetian Blinds, if I position this up, you can see that the blinds aren't actually moving, which is kind of silly. So what I need to do in order to get this to animate is I need to pre-compose it. So pre-compose, let's say blinds, solid. Now, because the effect has been applied to the shape layer fully, I can come to my blinds and I can start pushing them up or down. So we're going to start down here where it's like right around there, and we'll end here. And that doesn't really give us much space, right? If that's not a ton of animations happening. If I wanted to take it really high or really low, so I could come into my blind solid. I could come into the composition settings, and I can bump the height up. And now you see I have more of that blind space, and I could even scale that up more. So now when I come back in here, you can see I actually have more space to work with. I can push it higher. I can also push it lower. So now I can use these blinds as a alpha layer. So let's see, I'm probably going to use alpha inverted, but let's look at alpha matte first. Oh no, that's the one that I wanted. Okay, I wanted the alpha matte. Alpha inverted would be just the thin lines. So I want the alpha matte. And if I come back into the blinds, let's see, maybe take the width down just a little bit and take this up just a little bit. So we're kind of getting that movement, maybe moving a bit too fast, honestly. I could come in here and say hue saturation, drop this on my fill below, so not on the blinds, but on the actual footage. I could bump the saturation up. I could take the lightness up just a little. I don't want to go very high on that. And why is it that I'm able to see my face here? Because I move down and I move out of that gradient ramp, you know? We could also do something along the lines of a glow around it. So I'm copying the footage of myself, not the alpha matte. I'm duplicating it. I'm bringing it underneath, and I'm going to add a fill. We could say, and so like, why can we see the color in it? Because the alpha matte is not applied to this lower layer, right? So I'll change this to maybe a green color. And if I add Gaussian blur, it's gonna make a nice glow that starts to happen. I'm gonna take off. Sorry. So this is another thing I needed to do. Take off the alpha matte that I applied to my duplicate layer. So it automatically applies that. Take that off, and now there you go. See, much better. But it's too bright. I'm gonna bring that down. And then the last couple things that I wanted to show you are the adjustment layers. So we looked at adjustment layers, new adjustment layer, and I'm going to add a noise because I like noise. It's not something you have to add, but it's going to make your footage look more grainy. So the adjustment layer is applied to everything underneath it, right? You can see how that affects it. But if we did just want it to be applied to specific areas, we can apply a mask. And then now you can see like it's so much cleaner over here versus in here where we have some of that grain. There's also the effect called Mosaic that I showed you all. If I drop this on. So we bump up our material or our horizontal blocks or effects, bump up the blocks. What is that there? It's kind of a fun effect depending on how you can figure out how to use it. Really kind of pixelates everything. If you really bump it up, you can start to get some detail. And of course, you could always move the mask as well. So if I come in here and I say mask path, and I want to have it animate across. And it moves slowly. So these are some really basic compositing ideas, or not totally basic, but these are some compositing ideas, specifically looking at how to like start to use alpha mattes in more complex ways and how to use luma mattes in more complex ways. And then also, of course, the adjustment layer. I hope that this made more or less good enough sense to be able to follow and to help you all apply some of these things to your projects. So, thanks.